Alrighty, guys, we're back for Tezzeret's Last Ride, and this is an Edge of Eternities standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. It was to play Tezzeret Cruel Captain in the same list as the Last Ride, so that's what we're gonna do. What do these cards do? Tezzeret Cruel Captain's a 3-mana 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. The 0 ability untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Cool. Has a -3 search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So a whole bunch of goodies we can grab out of this deck list in particular with that. -7, not going to be unheard of, I would say. You get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. Yeah, really neat planeswalker so far, huh? So the Last Ride over here is a 1 black mana legendary artifact vehicle. Crew for 2, it is a 13/13. However, it's -X/-X, where X is your life total. Also has a middle ability where for 2 and a black, you can pay 2 life, draw a card. Yeah, that'll come in handy. And it's not the only way in here to actually pay life. We do have Unholy Annex having us lose life here on the top end as a 2 of, but we do have some demons packed in too. We got Demon Wall as a 4 of. It's a 2 mana 3/3 defender with menace. As long as this creature has a counter on it, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. So the fact that this is an artifact creature, of course, works beautifully with Tezzeret. So you can use Tezzeret right on curve, too, to boost the Demon Wall to a 4/4 and then actually start swinging with it, too. Seems pretty neat. And then also, Tezzeret untaps the artifact as well. So you could totally tap down a Demon Wall or two to like a Warden of the Inner Sky ability, for example. We actually have all 4 Warden of the Inner Skies in here as just one of our key creatures to actually help slam damage through. And it makes a lot of sense when you look at the removal that we have packed in, because all of our removal is also artifacts. So we have all 4 Grim Baubles, for example. When it enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. All 4 of them for a good reason. This actually picks up a lot of things that we need to pick up, especially early on. Similar concept with Glass Casket. All 4 of these making the cut. We even have a Tithing Blade in here. A couple Dusk Reliquary. Yeah, there's not too many artifacts and creatures that we want to sacrifice, but if you have an extra bauble laying around, you might as well sacrifice it to a Reliquary, right? Other 1-drop artifacts that we wouldn't mind picking up with like Tezzeret's -3, we have Lavaspur Boots as a 1 of, Lost Jitte, and we even have a Soul Guide Lantern in here too. So outside of the Unholy Annex and the bottom ability on Last Ride, how else are we going to be losing life so we can actually swing in with a chunky Last Ride? Well, we have all 4 Dark Confidants. 2 mana 2/1 at the beginning of your upkeep. Reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. Cool, it's a very similar card to Darkstar Augur, which is a 3 mana 2/3 with flying, except it also has Offspring for an additional 1 black mana. Yeah, has a small bat theme in here too, I suppose. We also have a Zoraline, another way to actually pay life and maybe bring back some important goodies back from the grave. Perilous Snare acting as more removal too. How about the mana base? Orzhov Colors has a really good selection of dual land. We got all 4 Verge, we have all 4 Courtyards, we have all 4 Godless Shrines. We even have a couple starting towns in here too. Between Godless Shrine and starting town, that's even more ways where we can pay life to maybe power up the Last Ride when it comes time to actually start swinging. Even Fountainport has a pay life option, so Windswept Bastion making the cut as a 1 of 2. Should be decent as a 1 of, I would say. And then over here in the honorable mentions, of course, I thought about Bitter Triumph and Lunar Convocation almost made the cut too. All right, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? It looks like I was getting some lag there. That's a little scary, huh? We are getting in to that first game, luckily, though. What am I expecting? I have no idea. I guess I guess I'm expecting jank, but we do have a lot of good cards packed in. And there should be some good synergies here too, so. We go first. I like this a lot. Seeing like a Tezzeret off the top would really bring this hand together, I would say. Okay, we can successfully get the Godless Shrine down tapped, so we shall. We get ready with that starting town too. Especially just in case we see another starting town off the top. We don't want to get punished for those coming down tapped later. Going to be Mistrise Village. Nice. Oh, I am lagging. Yeah. Maybe I should restart the game. Just in case. Alright, come on down, Demon Wall. Tezzeret off the top would be so sweet. Azorus colors, clay-fired bricks. Uh-oh, guys. I've been seeing a lot of synthesizer builds, and boy, they are scary. Alright. And this is a very slow hand for synthesizer builds. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay. I guess we will. I mean, I'm tempted to draw on the Soul Guide Lantern. I think we'll establish Soul Guide Lantern because we don't have to worry too much about what's in their graveyard. And then maybe we'll trade it out next turn. Right? Just dump what we can. Hope that they don't completely pop off in the next couple turns. Excuse me, guys. Synthesizer right on time. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Right, well, at least we have a couple demon walls, right? Right, guys? Those will totally block their 18 constructs here in a couple turns. But Tithing Blade does clean at least one up when it comes time. Okay, Fountainport is not a bad land to draw, but we definitely don't want to see any more land. I think the deck list has 22 mana, so let's start with some card draw, probably. Yeah, we'll start with some card draw. Hey, Tezzeret, what's up, buddy? All right. That's what I'm talking about, huh? Would have been great last turn so we could start slamming excess damage through, but still really good to see here. Go, 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 Demon Wall. 4th mana comes down. Hopefully they miss the United Battlefront. Usually they don't miss the United Battlefront. So when they play the United Battlefront, hopefully they miss off of it. Oh, Perilous Snare. Going to go ahead and pick up the Tezzeret. That way we can't swing with the other Demon Wall. Now, like I said, Tithing Blade does help us a little bit. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern. Nice. Okay, more mana's bad news. Yeah, it's possible that they wanted Tezzeret off the board. There still could be a United Battlefront in hand. We're putting up a small fight here, for sure. Get the Tithing Blade down, get the Construct off the board, swing with the Demon Wall. Next turn we'll have 6 mana to power up the other Demon Wall. So maybe they won't have a giant Construct to block the walls? Maybe? Keep bringing up these villages, guys, from the Tarkir set, but I feel like they're pretty underplayed as utility land. So I like that the opponent has this in there. Yeah, Grim Bauble does not do too much against synthesizer builds at all. Unfortunately, we don't have, like, Fishy open on the Fountainport, and also we don't have any tokens on the board either, so Fountainport not doing too much this game right now. It must be the Soul Guide Lantern that's holding us open here. Alright, opponent's down to 14. Yeah, it's possible that if we had Tezzeret one turn sooner, they would have skipped the Synthesizer and went right for the Perilous Snare, then set up later. Wow, it does look like they are missing the United Battlefront, which is just terrific news for us, man. However, they are going to get 2 constructs this turn thanks to the Repurposing Bay. Getting around 2 constructs is going to be pretty hard to do. Okay. How have you guys been faring against these synthesizer builds? Because they are pretty rough, man. Yeah, let me know what deck list you guys are rocking that's been helping you get around them. So Darkstar Augur is actually pretty good. We got the 6 open if we want the Demon Wall to be a 5/5, which would be pretty cool if we had like Grim Bauble open still too. Even so, that would still end up being a trade, and now they're generating 2 constructs every time they play something. I guess Darkstar Augur, and then we try our dandiest to survive the onslaught of constructs. But with Repurposing Bay on the board, it's only a matter of time till they grab their Fire Crystal, right? We've been seeing Fire Crystal pop up a lot in here as a one-of for the Repurposing Bay. Yeah, they play another 3-mana artifact from hand, 2 more constructs, Repurposing Bay, pop a synthesizer, grab the Fire Crystal. Yeah, Grim Bauble is still not doing too much, but we still keep it in hand. Oh, these have Menace too, though. So they would have had to double block there, but yeah. They do have the 2 creatures for that. It's nice because Augur can actually fly in successfully. They have United Battlefront. I do wonder if they're going to find an open mana here too. That way they still have 2 open for the Repurposing Bay. Couple extra. I'll take 10 down to 10. Because there's a chance that we find a Perilous Snare to pick up 1 construct, then the Menace can slip by. Even so, we don't have lethal on the board state, right? I don't think we'll die to the Darkstar Augur ability. We'd have to see the room off the top, and that would be pretty unlucky. Well, I guess it could happen here. Room and something else. No, as land, thank goodness. I mean, not thank goodness. I don't want land, but Dark Confidant. Okay. We have draw. Fountainport can pop the Darkstar Augur Offspring. Tithing Blade, I suppose. The craft at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Not against this deck list, right? Yeah, if we start with the draw and Fountainport, we could still find the Perilous Snare, but then what do we do, right? I apologize, opponent. I'm thinking I want to make sure we showcase the deck list to the best of its ability, right? Yeah, extra chump blockers probably not doing too much. I suppose we'll swing with the 1/1 draw this turn. See if we can find one of our Perilous Snares or something. Oh, Glass Casket also takes care of the constructs really nicely, huh? So, yeah. That would be good. We have 4 Glass Caskets. So we keep Demon Wall, Augur as a chump blocker. Swing with the 1/1 Augur. Then pop it to the Fountainport. And then probably just play the Dark Confidant. That's only 3 chumps, though. And again, they could still grab the Fire Crystal out of the deck list quite easily here. So if we miss removal off the card draw... yeah, we'll still have 3 mana open. Okay. It's still worth it, I'd say. Still worth it for the card draw. Since I think we're in danger no matter what, we should go for it. Because if we find a Perilous Snare, they all go down to 9/9s. No, then we still only have 2 blockers, though. Oh, last ride. That's pretty fun. Okay, let's get the Dark Confidant down. Let's get the last ride down, which is a 4/4 right now, I believe. Oh, that's right. Authority of Consuls is what they grabbed off of the Battlefront last turn. So even if we found more chump blockers by some miracle, they still would have come out tapped. Like I said, though, we were in danger either way. We're going to let the opponent play this one out, too. If they have any quests, they can totally get that done. That's why I always bring up, guys, always feel free to skip ahead in the video. Down in the description, we have timestamps for the next games and whatnot. or the final thoughts, which I always say the final thoughts is pretty important. That's where we actually go over the synergies better. Now, repurposing Bay, I'd love to see the Fire Crystal come out of the deck list if they have it. I'd really like to see that. No, they're just going to go ahead and grab a 2-mana card instead, so they might not have the Fire Crystal. Oh, there's the Glass Casket. Aha! I crew up the last ride. Yeah, this would have been a really, really tough match for any deck list, so it's really hard to say anything in particular about our deck list, right? Braided Net, tap down the last ride. We got that one block. Yeah, good game, opponent. Yeah, let me know in the comments, how have you guys been faring versus Synthesizer? Because I don't know. I don't know the last time I won against Synthesizer. Maybe the last time I played a more aggressive deck list. We ran in before they could do the thing. Even so, you're really hoping to go first at that point too. Yeah, my game's a little laggy today for some reason. Hopefully it's not showing up too much in the video, or hopefully it's not distracting. Let's keep the ball rolling, guys. I kind of built up a lot of confidence from that last game. We were kind of doing the thing. But yeah, we'll give it a shot. I like this. Yeah, usually Grim Bauble will do something. Come on down, last ride. Okay. Oh, Overlord in the grave. That's not a good sign. Thank goodness we have Perilous Snare in hand, but based on this hand, we really need that 3rd mana off the top. For sure. Dredger's Insight. This is likely a Yuna deck list, right? Yuna Overlords? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's Yuna Overlords. Okay. Right. Alright, so they grabbed the Stomping Ground here. That probably means they already have a unit in hand, right? Mill for artifact, creature, or land. Yeah. Yeah. So they already have a unit in hand. They needed more mana there. We do find the 3rd, thank goodness. Let's go with... We don't need to worry about the offspring on the Augur, right? Let's get that down. Get some more cards rolling into our hand. And it also starts powering up the last ride a little bit too, as we take damage. They pay the 2, are they going to get some ramp here from the green Overlord? Because that'll mean Yuna next turn. No, they're going to torch the tower on the Augur. I'd say that's well worthwhile and a good play from the opponent instead of taking the turn for anything else. They still got an Esper Origins, though. See what else they send here to the grave. Yeah, with Demon Wall kind of just chilling in the last game too, right? Maybe more ways to put counters onto him could be cool. We have a few, though. Like Perilous Snare once your engines are actually maxed, for example. Alright, Glass Casket. I'm hoping our spot removal does a little bit more today than what it has been doing. Glass Casket won't pick up much from the opponent's side. Would have been great in that last one, though, so... And Grim Bauble also won't hit much on the opponent's side, huh? I guess we just play Zoraline. It's too bad that it was a Torch the Tower instead of other spot removal, because then the Augur actually got exiled. We won't be able to bring it back with the Zoraline swing. But that would have been a really good one to bring back. The Esper Origins on the backside, is it still just a 2-mana card? I don't know how that works right now for some reason. I think we can still pick it up with the Glass Casket. I would say it's well worth picking up too, especially if they miss their 5th mana by some miracle, right? Okay, Godless Shrine. Don't mind seeing more mana. Yeah. Get a swing in the air. I think we are going to Glass Casket the Esper Maduin. We can just get this down tapped without any worries. Oh, I guess we can pay the 2 for fun, huh? No, we don't have to do that at all. All right. Yeah, I guess same concept. We could pay the 2 for fun on the shrine, but I think we're just going to let the last ride do its thing later on in the game once they actually start dropping their big things. All right. Glass Casket. No ramp for them. Enters tapped. Yeah, I know we want to take damage to power up the last ride, but I don't think it's the best idea right now. Yeah, we totally could have had the Godless Shrine come in untapped, pay 2. Paid 2 on Zoraline just for funsies as well. Has still played the Glass Casket then in main phase 2. Okay, Fear of Missing Out. That's not a Yuna. That's good news, right? Ooh, Banishing Light. Taking the Zoraline probably, because it's really the only threat right now. Okay. Well, at least Fear of Missing Out can't swing into the Demon Wall. Dark Confidant. That's a good draw, guys. That is. I guess the another Augur would have been a little bit better because we could have offspringed. But we only got 2 of those versus 4 Confidants. Okay. Okay, let's see what the opponent does here. Because we're in the mid game now. That means we're in danger. Thank goodness for this Perilous Snare. Excuse me, guys, I'm losing my voice. Send help. Oh, Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. I guess they're going to pop the Confidant. Yeah, we're having a hard time keeping our hands stacked up, so. No, they're hitting the Demon Wall so they can swing with the Fear of Missing Out. Okay. That gives us extra card draw, which is really good. I guess it's not technically card draw, but you guys know what I mean. Now, are they going to swing here too? They are. Okay. See what we see? A Plains. Oh, Tezzeret. Hi, dude. Honestly, this might be the style of deck list where we'd like 4 Tezzerets. Yeah, the problem is we can't really get Tezzeret down this turn, though. Perilous Snare can also pick up the Banishing Light, but getting Zoraline back doesn't matter since it was Overlord, because they swing at the Overlord and pop the Zoraline anyways. Although, it could be pretty cool. 5th mana comes down. I apologize, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. There's a lot going on in this deck list, actually. Zoraline comes back. Pay the 2. Get the Demon Wall. Swing with the Overlord. They pop the Zoraline. But now we have a Demon Wall on the board still. Probably not worth it. Probably. We should take the Overlord while we have the chance to. I just think that the Yuna hit earlier. There's another Yuna in the grave now, too. Yeah, I feel like they still have 1 Yuna in hand, so it's actually pretty sketchy. But I'm pretty sure we still use the Snare on the Overlord regardless. Yeah, let's see if they do find that Yuna. Gonna be Esper Origins from the grave. Okay, nice. We go back up to 19 here, get the Maduin on the board. Stomping Ground, okay, that gives them 3 open if they need it. I guess they need it, they pay the 2, and do another Esper Origins, get that 2 back immediately. Yeah, with the new Shocklands, Naya Yuna should be really good, right? They do find a Torch the Tower for the Dark Confidant, unfortunately. We find another last ride. So this is probably, since we have the second last ride in hand, we can go... We can let them keep the Esper this time. Tezzeret can grab Dusk Rose Reliquary. I just, we're going to lose the Tezzeret no matter what here, unfortunately. Now, Dusk Rose Reliquary can pick up artifacts and creatures, so we can't hit the Banishing Light. Fear of missing out's pretty scary though too. Soul Guide Lantern. How much damage is on the board? 10 with the untap on the Maduin. They could have lethal if they have another Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. Honestly, we should take the other Soul Guide Lantern, right? That stops a lot of their reanimation. Tough decisions, man. Really tough decisions. If we could pick up the Banishing Light, it doesn't really matter which one we want to hit here. I guess the Mistmoors. Could play Grim Bauble just to boost the Tezzeret, I suppose. They're still going to swing at it with the Esper. Go to face, probably. Yeah, I'll keep Grim Bauble back in hand. I apologize, opponent, using all my timers over here. Yeah, the ramp doesn't matter too much on the Maduin. They do have another one ready from the grave, so maybe that's what I should have picked up, right? That's what they're going to cast, too. Yeah, I kind of missed an opportunity there to pick up the Esper Origins. Okay, we're in danger, bro. We're in danger. But we were kind of in danger either way. Similar to the first game, too. Like, we're just, like, really stuck between a rock and a hard place in these matches. But yeah, picking up the Esper Origins would have been much, much better on the Soul Guide Lantern. Because, of course, we can't react to them casting it with the rest of the Soul Guide Lantern ability. Okay. They take care of the Tezzeret. And they get 8 through. Wait for the very last moment for the Soul Guide Lantern. We might actually just draw on it. They haven't been doing the Reanimator thing. Fountainport's okay, but that doesn't really do much. Fishy doesn't actually power up the Last Ride when it comes time, and Last Ride's only an 8/8 right now, too. Grim Bauble just chilling. Alright. Yeah, we'll go for some card draw here then. Yeah, since we die pretty much no matter what next turn. Hey, Warden of the Inner Sky. That'll be nice to see today too. Maybe earlier in the match. Okay. If we get Grim Bauble down now, just to have an artifact to tap. Doesn't matter which one we target. We can do this like that, and then we'll be able to power up the Last Ride. Unholy Annex could have been pretty good. Yeah, but we send that now. It's not doing too much here. All right, bring it on, opponent. Bring it on. Actually, guys, I think it's actually my fault that they have lethal this turn. But still, like I said, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oh no, they all get trampled too. Well, no, yeah. Yeah, with the fear of missing out swinging twice, I guess. Yeah, it's 110% my fault. By not taking the Esper Origins. They still could have had like another Overlord of the Boiler Bilges though, so. Good block here. You know what? Since we die either way to the second swing on the fear of missing out, I want to see what's on top with the Last Ride. Also, it goes to a 10-10, which is actually pretty sick. It was a starting town off the top. Yeah, good game, opponent. So a few things, right? Soul Guide Lantern definitely needed to pick up that Esper Origins, 110%. When I was looking at the grave, like, oh yeah, it doesn't really matter because we can still just use the top ability here, tap it, sack it, exile everything anyways, except we can't actually respond to the Esper Origins going through. If I wanted to do that, I guess I could have set a stop at the beginning of their turn before their main phase, right? Would that have worked, guys? I'm not 100% certain right now. We're almost 30 minutes in already. Holy cow. Hey, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either those up or supporting the channel that way. Yeah, remember this was a patron suggestion. That's one of the main benefits of joining up that Patreon for sure. Oh, the opponent goes first. Oh, I don't like this. We do have plenty of creatures to see in here, right? I'm gonna keep it. Since they're going first, if it's like some form of aggro, I actually want to go up against aggro right now because I think we might actually be favored, but I'm not 100% certain. I want to see it. I want to test against it, you know? So, anyways, how about the YouTube side of things too? If you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. We can get Soul Guide Lantern down just to establish it. It's fine. There's a really high chance that we just end up using it as card draw anyways, and we're not going to play Grim Bauble for the turn. Spectre Sailor. Okay, that's a target for the Grim Bauble. At long last, guys. At long last. But it's not like the greatest target. It's good enough, though, for sure. With 2 mana open, suppose we're going to be up against some tempo. Yeah, a counterspell on the Grim Bauble won't be that great for them at all. All right. What you thinking, opponent? Double blue. I can only imagine they pass it right back. Now, we really don't want the Unholy Annex to be countered, but luckily we have both of them in hand. So even if one gets countered, at least we'll have the other, hopefully, right? Tezzeret, cool. All right, Grim Bauble, come on down. Hop the Sailor. Hop the Sailor? Yeah, this would be a pretty bad counterspell for the opponent, I would say, right? Unless the Sailor's their only creature. And we still have one open too, so if they do drop like a 2-mana counterspell for our 1-mana thing, they don't know if we have a second Grim Bauble in hand or anything, so. Also, for the turn, I'm probably just going to pop the Lantern and replace it, since I really doubt we're going to have to worry about their grave too much here. Alright, the opponent used their only timer, Grim Bauble's landing. Pop that Sailor, like I said, right? And then Soul Guide Lantern is open for some card draw. We'll do that on their turn. Hopefully the opponent's here, guys. I mean, with all that lag I was getting earlier, it's entirely possible that they froze when I played the Grim Bauble or something. Oh no. Oh no, guys. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe they'll take their turn. If not, I'm going to get ready to pause the recording as soon as the timer pops up. But using 2 timers right away, I don't know how long their timer actually is. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pause the recording. Kind of feels a little weird, right? All right. Down to the last timer from the opponent here. I guess we'll still draw, I suppose. As you can see, there's no waiting now. But on our turn, there should be waiting on the stack here, so. Instead of Tezzeret, we're going to try the Unholy Annex and hope that the opponent arrives. But again, going to pause the recording because I think they're gone, unfortunately, right? All right, unfortunately, the opponent never arrived. Yeah, I think they froze. I mean, we were getting a lot of lag in the game earlier. Maybe something's going on right now. I'm not 100% certain. I probably won't count this as a game. I'll probably put it up as a test hand because I do feel like the hand was pretty good, right? We were set up a little bit. I liked this removal. I love seeing Perilous Snare here too. Tezzeret in hand is awesome because we can grab any of our 1-drop artifacts too. So yeah, I really liked it. And again, this might be a deck list where we actually want all 4 Tezzerets. I don't have all 4, so 3's fine for now. But also, once we get to the final thoughts, we're probably going to say put this one on the do not craft list. It's very expensive too, isn't it? Like all the Dark Confidants are mythic and everything. Yeah, guys, I feel like we have so much more to showcase in the deck list, man. I feel like there's so much here that we're not seeing. Hopefully we can get a really good last game in. Here's like Warden of the Inner Sky, for example. A lot of our creatures this time round. Tezzeret in hand. Heck yeah, dude. Now we're talking. Oh, buddy. Now we're talking. I think I'm going to skip the Confidant, go right into Demon Wall, get the Tezzeret down, start swinging with the Demon Wall too. Oh. Oh, crap. We need our removal. Oh, crap. It's been like back and forth, man. It's been back and forth where we're like, we need our creatures. This is too much removal. And now, like, we desperately need our removal. As, not only am I seeing a lot of the synthesizer builds, but the next deck list that I'm seeing a lot of, mono green landfall, if not more sometimes. So unfortunately, I'm going to skip the Demon Wall play. We're going to go right into the Dark Confidant because we need to see more off the top immediately. And we need to immediately find that removal. So the Grim Bauble is terrific versus... Oh, it's actually going to be the Gruul version of Landfall too. We do find the Glass Casket. Thank goodness, bro. That's why we played the Confidant for sure. Let's go ahead. The other Warden comes down this turn too. Glass Casket, pick up the Mossborn Hydra. Okay. Get the other Warden down. Give the first Warden a boost. Dark Confidant is probably not worth it right now. Getting the second one down and established could be good. But there's a really strong possibility where the first one survives. So we still see a lot of extra from that first one. So if it gets to the point where Dark Confidant's doing too much damage to us too, that's something we could always sacrifice to like the Dusk Rose Reliquary. Okay, that's a lot of mana, dude. Dusk Rose off the Tezzeret. Tezzeret dies to the Llanowar Elves swing. They got 4 on the board right now. Doesn't really matter what mana we play, so we'll play the Plains because that's the one they know about. Yeah, no matter what, we have to... Actually, Grim Bauble also takes care of Hydra. It's actually really weird that we don't have to worry about something bigger right now. You know what I mean? Grim Bauble totally takes care of that Hydra. Taking care of the Llanowar Elves would be pretty good too. All right, now we're showcasing the deck list, guys. Now we're talking. All into this first Warden, probably. Instead of spreading it wide. Holy cow, Glass Casket on top. Yes. Yes, guys. Also, good news, Llanowar Elves wasn't a Snakeskin Veil. It could have been a Snakeskin Veil. That would have been really good for the opponent. Now, with Grim Bauble coming down, Tezzeret actually goes up to 2 loyalty, so just a miscalculation from me when I said it was going to die to the Elves. It does die to a Burst Lightning, however. Escape Tunnel. Yeah, dude, now we're talking. I mean, all 4 Warden of the Inner Sky in here for a very good reason. This is a game. Okay, Windswept Bastion. This is a lot of mana. 7 mana in the top 15. I think there's 22 lands in here. We'll have to double check that in the final thoughts. Right, so probably get the Bastion down. We're going to get Warden in the air. We should take the Llanowar Elves while we have the removal, right? Since they didn't play anything else. Also, if they do have a Veil this time... Okay, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, Glass Casket can still tap for the Warden. They probably don't want to trade into the Confidant, but I don't really like that trade either, honestly. And Swept Bastion can eventually copy a Casket or a Bauble. We probably established that for the turn. I apologize, opponent. Taking my good old time over here, huh? Let's get this Warden into the air and get it above their removal range. And, oh, send the mana for sure. And I suppose... and start to power up the Bastion. No, I'm going to go all in. All eggs into one basket here. Yep. Okay, send the Godless Shrine. Never underestimate the power of scrying, huh? Do you guys think we're in danger? Do we need a blocker, or can we tap this nice vigilant creature down to the Bastion? I'm going to risk it. Yeah, this was a fantastic showcase of the deck list. I like risky plays sometimes. I don't know what the opponent has. There could be some way to give haste. A Wildfire in there, guys. What on earth? Kind of a different Gruul deck list from the opponent so far. I guess it's Gruul Delirium, but also they have Mossborn Hydra in there. They go for that full swing down to 12, and I mean, they're at 8, so we went on the backswing here. We got 8 exactly on the board, so a little bit of removal for probably the smaller Warden. Then we have 7, but we still boost the bigger Warden. Fable Passage. Yeah, just being able to pick up those Mossborn Hydras so quick and clean. Our removal finally coming in handy. Our creatures finally piecing the puzzle together, right? They do have a Bushwhack for the Confidant. So we have 6 on the board right now. 2, 7 on the board. They end up conceding. Unfortunately, I would have loved to play that out, but I completely understand the concede there, as they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, we had 7 on the board once we boosted 1 Warden, and we only had land in hand. They didn't know about that, though. Even so, we also scryed 2 land to the bottom, so there's a good chance that our top deck could have been a goodie. Another Tezzeret would have been awesome, because then we could have powered up the Demon Wall. And then also, with the Bastion on the board or Inner Sky on the board, we could have tapped the Demon Wall to like power up Bastion further with the station, or tapped the Demon Wall for one of the Wardens, then untapped Demon Wall with Tezzeret, put a counter on it, now it can swing too. Yeah, Tezzeret, man. Maybe this is a deck list that wants 4 of them. That was sweet, guys. I'm very tempted to end on a high note here, but I think we can do it. I think we can totally end on a high note, and at that point, such a nice game, such a clean showcase of all the different intricacies and everything. I'm satisfied. If we lose here, we're fine. It's totally fine. Still going to be a janky deck list that we say put on the do not craft list because it's relatively expensive, but yeah, the last ride in hand. Cool. Okay. Opponent goes first, unfortunately, but we keep this. Dark Confidant. Warden of the Inner Sky. See if the mountain picks it up. It does not. That's great news. Rakdos colors. Hey, Dark Confidant. What are you doing over there, buddy? All right, we should pick that up. What do you guys think? That's probably worthwhile. We could establish our own Dark Confidant, but really we don't want the opponent having any extra cards. Oh, Brynhildr. Yeah, dude, let's go. They're going to give haste to the Cruel Claw? Oh, crap. Maybe we go Dusk Rose Reliquary for the turn. Last ride, Dusk Rose. No. Fountainport holding us up. We can't do that. Well, Dusk Rose. We can pop the Warden. That's probably worth it. Can we see what's under the Brynhildr? Deals combat damage to a player, exile cards. Yeah. Yeah, we can't have that at all. Maybe actually Demon Wall. No, Menace. I apologize, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Wow. I wonder how often the opponents think I froze, you know what I mean? This is a hard one though. Because this is like, this should just not be a great play, but hitting that on the Brynhildr's crazy business. Yeah, we can't let them have haste on a Cruel Claw. That's actually really cool, opponent. I have to try that sometime. Actually, I don't think I've played with Cruel Claw in a very long time. Another Brynhildr. They see a mountain. That's good. Challenger. Nice. Dude, I like the opponent's deck list a lot. So Brynhildr still has the chance of giving haste to a Cruel Claw in hand. It could still be a great pickup with the Glass Casket. Challenger's a much better pickup, But yeah, Cruel Claw Haste. Man, really tough decisions. I'm going to let them keep the Brynhilder. I'm going to just pretend that they don't have a Cruel Claw in hand. Pick up the Challenger, as it is a much better pickup here. But yeah, Brynhilder eventually sacrifices itself. Cruel Claw Haste. I risked it, guys, but let's see how cool the opponent's deck list is. I'm a little bit excited to see what they hit. They have another Challenger, too. Holy cow. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. What is it? Oh, was it mana? Wait, what? Oh, it was a Cruel Claw. That's pretty unlucky, actually. That's pretty unlucky. Oh, we're missing mana, guys. I didn't even notice because I was just so happy with the opponent's deck list, to be honest. So Brynhilder sacrifices itself. Cruel Claw's getting in because we don't have a successful removal for it. And since it has Menace, the Demon Wall doesn't block it. So we might as well Grim Bauble the Challenger, and it's too bad we don't have anything else here. Let's see what they hit off the Cruel Claw this turn. Yeah, it's anyone's game, but it's only a matter of time until they get something incredible for free. Now what did they miss? Shoot the Sheriff! Dude, the opponent's missing! Oh, we find our third. Yes. Okay, they're still getting Cruel Claw through them. And actually, we don't have anything in hand here. Tezzeret could be a little threat. Maybe they divert the Cruel Claw into Tezzeret. Can grab another Reliquary, pop the Grim Bauble, pick up the Cruel Claw. Yeah, maybe they don't hit our face.
A new power rises in this system. This will suffice for now.
Alright, another Reliquary in hand. This deck list is actually really cool, isn't it? Yeah, we had a couple tough games early on there, and I could have played it out a little better too, honestly. They do just swing face here. They don't worry about the Tezzeret. I agree, opponent. I agree. See what they hit this time. Is that a Brynhilder? Dude, nice. They got like all 4 Brynhilders in here. I wonder how many Cruel Claws they have then. Dude, this is my version of Rakdos, man. I like it. I like it a lot. Not literally my version. I mean like the type... the type of Rakdos I like to play is that's what I actually meant there, right? That's really cool. So, they have lethal on the board no matter what here, so... Actually, no they don't. No they don't. Yeah, they don't. Okay, we don't know what's left in their hand. Grim Bauble, get the second Reliquary down. Now we can see why we got 2 Reliquaries instead of just 1 in here, right? For sure. Pick up the Cruel Claw. Demon Wall blocks at least one of them. All they need is 1 creature, though, to give haste off the Brynhilder. But, I mean, this is still the best thing, right? Yeah, we don't have the -3 on Tezzeret. We would after we played Demon Wall or Last Ride, but then we only have Fountainport open. So Fountainport really holding up this game. If it was like another Swamp, we could go Last Ride, -3 Tezzeret, find a Grim Bauble, pop the Brynhilder, then they got 2 on the board. But by going Demon Wall, at least we have the +1. Not +1, I'm sorry, the 0 ability, which gives a +1/+1 counter. Yeah, I think they're just going to play another creature from hand and win next turn. So Fountainport holding us up a little bit. Other than that, I think Fountainport's still a worthwhile one of. They activate the Kellen ability. They do have a Shoot the Sheriff anyway, so it didn't have to be another creature. Hey, good game, opponent. You get a fancy pants GG. Wow. Yeah, dude, just Rakdos aggro. They're not even trying to cheat out like big things with the Cruel Claw. They're just getting extra benefits from Cruel Claw, you know, extra free things. I wasn't rooting for the opponent, I swear. I swear, guys. Oh man, I do think we had a I think that could have gone either way pretty easily there, right? Had we seen better mana, I suppose, and we can't complain too much about the mana because the mana base is really fixed, really nice for Orzhov colors. You gotta watch out for Orzhov in general, guys. I do think that there's room for Orzhov bats, but we'll see. We'll see what people start landing on. Yeah, between the Verge, the Courtyard, the Godless Shrine. Oh, by the way, here's the deck list again, guys. Okay, anyways. Yeah. Verge, Courtyard, Shrine, early lands, set up for Orzhov. I love it, especially if you're leaning black already, so the Verge is acting as a swamp until you get the Shrine down, or one of your other basics, of course, too. And if your deck list is particularly greedy, a couple starting towns as well, which really does help out. And a couple starting towns, I suppose, like you could look at the mana base and say, well, I didn't collect all the Godless Shrines I need yet, right? Like here, I'm using the old version. I don't have any of the new version yet. Maybe you only have a couple of these. Well, you could probably just go up a couple starting towns and be fine and dandy. But guys, that being said, I'm speaking like you're going to put the deck list together. Do not craft this deck list, all right? It definitely felt janky, but it also could have been the games too. It's possible. Yeah, put it on the do not craft list. What I will say is if you have all of the cards already, then give it a shot. Get back to me. Let me know. Let me know. Do you think, am I being too hard on the deck list? It definitely feels like jank, but it's possible that I'm being too hard on the deck list too. Like I said, with some of those earlier matches, I probably could have played them out a little better as well. Second Zoraline would be pretty cool in here. I like Zoraline. A lot of our early things we wouldn't mind bringing back. I mean, even our Demon Wall was a threat in some of those games. Bringing back a Demon Wall would be pretty sick. Couple Unholy Annex, you really don't want any more of these. It's also acting as our top end for the Ritual Chamber side of things as an extra win condition to get a nice 6/6 flying demon in the air. Yeah, there's going to be some games where Grim Bauble just doesn't hit anything, and those games look like synthesizer builds, right? And then right after that, a Una build, and the Naya Una in particular really doesn't have anything that -2/-2 will hit. At that point, it's just kind of a 1-mana artifact. Hopefully you can sacrifice it to a Reliquary. Glass Casket does hit the constructs quite successfully. In the synthesizer builds, do note it says target creature, whereas like Reliquary says artifact or creature. So Duskrow's Reliquary does pick up synthesizer itself. So that is really cool, actually. So again, guys, this was a patron suggestion. It was a really cool one where it was Cruel Captain here, and then the concept was we build a deck list around Last Ride, and then we have it so that way Tezzeret can actually grab the Last Ride out of the deck list. That is one thing we didn't really get to showcase today, right? Was actually a nice big swing with the Last Ride. But you guys can totally see why I opted for only 2 Last Ride, even though it was the main build around with the Tezzeret. With 3 Tezzerets, you're still going to be able to grab the Last Ride out of the deck list, but then also if you end up seeing both of these anyways, it's the other one's just a dead card in hand since it's a legendary artifact. At that point, you have a chance to maybe sacrifice it to a Reliquary or something too. I like Perilous Snare as the I guess top end removal that picks up anything we need it to, right? Non-land permanent's pretty significant. You're not really worried about the max speed, but it's not going to be unheard of as the game goes on. We have no way to start the speed earlier on, but on a turn where you drop the Perilous Snare, it's not, I know I keep saying this, it's not unheard of. It's not unheard of to pick up like their only blocker and swing in, and then you already have 2 speed. And then in a couple turns, you can actually start using that bottom ability. It's a great way to plug a counter onto a Demon Wall, for example. Outside of that, Demon Wall with Tezzeret, I'm keeping my eye on this little combo. I like it. I like it a lot. I think there could be some really cool ways to put this together. The initial thought was Dimir, and I couldn't really get the Dimir deck list to work the way I wanted it to. By going Orzhov, we just get access to just incredible removal. Don't sleep on Glass Casket. It hits exactly what you need it to hit in most games, so... Glass Casket's excellent, especially when you want artifacts, whether you have Tezzeret on the board and you're boosting it now when you play an artifact, or if you just want artifacts to tap down to the Warden. All 4 Wardens for a very good reason, huh? Yeah. Lost Jitte didn't really get to do the thing today. It's a pretty neat one, though. Equipped creature deals combat damage. Put a charge counter on Lost Jitte, so it doesn't say, like, combat damage to a player or anything, so that's kind of noteworthy. And you can use these charge counters, and you can remove one, choose one, untap target land, kind of acting as a little bit of ramp, tap it, then untap it, right? Target creature can't block this turn. Okay, take an important blocker out of the equation, maybe get a menacing wall through, or put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature. So technically another way to get a counter onto the wall so you can start swinging successfully too. Yeah, with Confidant, Darkstar Augur, and let's see here. What else is doing damage to us? I guess Unholy Annex when you don't have the demon, right? Then also Fountainport, Starting Town, Godless Shrine. Those are all the ways where we... Oh, Zoraline too. Okay, now is that all the ways? I guess that's all the ways right over here where we take our own... We do damage to ourselves or lose life or pay life, right, for some of these. So that way Last Ride grows as the game goes on and becomes a bigger threat. I guess Last Ride is also a way to pay life as well. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, that's a good chunk of ways. I really like Dark Confidant. Like in the opponent's last deck list too, Rakdos Aggro seems like a great place for Dark Confidant, for real. Man, the opponent's last deck list was so cool. It really was. Anyways, guys, how about we do some rearranging again here? Wow. Why am I saying put it on the do not craft list? Well, let's double check the rarities real quick. We do have some commons, but Last Ride is mythic, Tezzeret is mythic, Dark Confidant is mythic, Demon Wall's an uncommon. Yeah, a couple commons in here between a Grim Bauble and the Tithing Blade. I think a second Tithing Blade could have worked out pretty well today too, huh? Now, Warden is actually going to be rare, Zoraline's rare, Augur's rare, Perilous Snare's rare, and Unholy Annex is rare. Soul Guide Lantern, Lost Jitte's mythic, and then Lavaspur Boots. Yeah, I guess that's a chunk of commons and uncommons, but nah. That's a lot of mythics and a lot of rares for what is potentially jank. And then, of course, once we put the mana base over here with rares too. And guys, when I put it down in the description, I'll try to remember to put the new version of Godless Shrine. Just always keep an eye on your collection and everything, okay? And always keep an eye on that in case I forget too. Oh, Windswept Bastion is also a mythic too, so... Yeah, luckily you can play the lands in other deck lists, but wow, once you stack it like that, all of a sudden, that's a chunk of rares and a chunk of mythics, huh? So, yeah. Still a very small chunk of uncommons, though, which is a little surprising. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. We're almost an hour in. Definitely let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the description. Down in the description? You guys can't write in the description. down in the comments, let me know what you thought of the deck list for sure, and I will see you in the next video.